What is up, TEW fans? Welcome to the next episode of Freedom Caribbean Wrestling. I am Jolly J, and I am excited to bring you the Freedom Movement, our July event. And we have a huge show tonight. As we know, um, two more matches in the Freedom Classic. We will have the Dynamite Express taking on the Southern Stars, as well as Bailey and McCain taking on the American Cobras. We also have the Puerto Rican boys defending their FCW Tag Team Championships against the Wildcats in a steel cage match. We have Princeton Price taking on Davis Wayne Newton in a singles match. That rivalry has gotten pretty heated over the months. And we also have our uh, FCW Puerto Rican Championship on the line. Hell's Bouncer taking on Rudy Velasquez. So we start the show with Puerto Rican Power coming down to the ring. As always, thanking the fans for coming out. And he's basically just going over the Freedom Classic last week. Congratulates Bailey and McCain, as well as the American Cobras for their victory. He goes over the Freedom Classic matches for tonight. Southern Stars, Dynamite Express, McCain and Bailey versus American Cobras, as well as the rest of the card for tonight. The Tag Team Championship cage match with Kid San Juan, Island Boy Apollo, the Puerto Rican boys, defending against the Wildcats, El Jaguar and Tigre Salvaje Jr., as well as our main event, the FCW Puerto Rican Championship, Hell's Bouncer defending against Rudy Velasquez. So just a good way to get the show off to a hot start and advance some storylines as well. As we go into our first tag team match of the night, in a decent match, the American Cobras defeated TJ Bailey and Clutch McCain in 7:35, when Storm Spillane defeated Clutch McCain by submission with a kneeling Boston Crab. Now, it's no reflection on their actual skill, but just from their overness and probably a little bit of their skill as well. I booked this as a shorter match with the intention of the Cobras basically isolate Clutch McCain, and he doesn't even get the tag into TJ. They isolate Clutch McCain and wear him down. Storm Spillane locks in the kneeling Boston Crab, and Marvin Malloy charges across the ring, knocks TJ off the apron, and McCain taps out. So a pretty dominant victory for the American Cobras there. And a good rating as well, considering how bad Clutch McCain and TJ Bailey performed. But that takes us to Davis Wayne Newton and Princeton Price in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Davis Wayne Newton and defeated Princeton Price in 10-10 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. So now they are tied 1-1. Price won by DQ earlier this year when Davis Wayne Newton intentionally got disqualified. And now Davis Wayne Newton picks up a win with the use of the ropes. So that's even as far as wins. However, we still have yet to have a clean finish in this rivalry, and their performances were actually pretty damn equal. And a 41 rating for the match, not bad at all. Back and forth here, really back and forth. Like, you cannot tell who has the advantage, just like their match last time. It is absolutely back and forth, and Davis Wayne Newton essentially gets like a power bomb roll up type pin, and he flips his feet back on the ropes, and Price cannot kick out. And that's the finish there. As we go into a promo with Island Boy Apollo and Kid San Juan. Island Boy Apollo and Kid San Juan in the backstage interview area. Very short promo. Island Boy Apollo basically just hypes their match coming up, says that the Puerto Rican boys are the best tag team in Freedom Caribbean Wrestling, and you don't come into their house and expect to take the FCW Tag Team Championships from them. So they wish them luck. They wish the Wildcats luck in the cage tonight, because the Puerto Rican boys will be leaving still the tag team champions. And we go into our other Freedom Classic tag team match. Southern Stars versus the Dynamite Express in a decent match. The Dynamite Express defeat the Southern Stars in 9:32 when Sid Collier defeated Tennessee Williams by submission with a Texas Cloverleaf. 46 rating, pretty damn good. So this match, the Dynamite Express dominate pretty heavily for about half the match. They're just this efficient, mechanical tag team, and they start dismantling Tennessee William. He gets the hot tag into Harker, who comes in, brawling his brains out, just trying to get the advantage back for their team. But Cameron Jones gets the knockdown on him. They both tag in again. One of those things where, like, why are you tagging Tennessee Williams back in? He got so worn down, and you got hit once. Why are you tagging him back in? One of those tags. And so Tennessee Williams comes back in against Sid Collier, and the Dynamite Express really just get the advantage with some slams, some brawling, just wear down Tennessee Williams, locks in the Texas Cloverleaf, and Tennessee Williams taps out. So we have it, the Dynamite Express versus the American Cobras in the finals of the first annual Freedom Classic, and that will be next month. As we go into an angle with Rudy Velasquez, he is hyping his match with Hell's Bouncer, saying it all comes down to tonight. Tonight I take that title. I take what belongs to me from Hell's Bouncer. He does not deserve that championship. I am the only one who deserves to hold that championship. And I will take what is mine. I will take what I want when I want. And Hell's Bouncer, that championship is coming with me after tonight. And we go into our tag team title match. What a match here. In a decent match, the Puerto Rican Boys defeated the Wildcats in a cage match in 12-18 when the Island Boy Apollo defeated El Jaguar by pinfall with a welcome to the island. So, big match here. Kid San Juan performed very well. 54 rating. This is an absolute back and forth, high-flying fest of action. The Wildcats flying all over the place. Kid San Juan flying all over the place. Island Boy Apollo, basically a lightning rod for the high-flying attacks. He's not a high flyer himself, so he just kind of stays grounded and lets the Wildcats do their attacks on him. But after 10 minutes or so of just back and forth, high-flying attack, brawling, technical reversals, anything you can imagine, just a very fast-paced, action-packed match. The Puerto Rican Boys basically throw Tigre into the cage while El Jaguar is stunned in the corner, and then they just nail the welcome to the island and pin El Jaguar 1, 2, 3 to retain their tag team titles. As we jump into an entrance, a fancy entrance for Rudy Velasquez. You know, he's gangster, comes out in the nice low riding car and makes his way to the ring. And then we have Hell's Bouncer, a very menacing entrance, and you can see how well that did. And that brings us to our match. Can Rudy take the title from Hell's Bouncer? Will he make good on his promises to get that championship away from the Colossus of FCW? And in a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Hell's Bouncer defeated Rudy Velasquez in 15:32 by pinfall with a damnation drop. Hell's Bouncer makes defense number 6 of his Puerto Rican title. Wow. So Hell's Bouncer actually did outperform Rudy Velasquez in this match, 54 rating. 15 minutes and 32 seconds. They both enter, and Rudy knows he is overpowered in this match. He does not want Hell's Bouncer to set the pace, though. So he tries to use his speed to set his own pace, make Hell's Bouncer keep up with him. He's essentially going in, getting some waist locks, and backing away, almost frustrating Hell's Bouncer. And Hell's Bouncer falls for it. He gets frustrated. He goes for Rudy, and Rudy is able to use his quickness to dodge him. He hits the turnbuckle as he charges towards Rudy, and Rudy ducks out of the way, and Rudy's able to get a flurry of punches in. So this kind of goes on for a few minutes. Rudy just using his smarts and his quickness to get some shots in on Hell's Bouncer. And Hell's Bouncer finally just catches him and slams him to the ground, and so begins several minutes of domination by Hell's Bouncer. Slams, suplexes, bombs, whatever you want to call them. He's performing all of it and really controlling the match. As now the crowd trying to get behind Rudy, chanting Rudy, wanting him to get back in the match. And he is able to get back to his feet. He's able to land a flurry of offense, some drop kicks, some elbows, some forearms. He's trying to take down Hell's Bouncer. He has him reeling, and more punches. He goes for another drop kick, and he nails it right to just below the chin of Hell's Bouncer, and that knocks Hell's Bouncer against the ropes. And so Rudy trying to clothesline Hell's Bouncer over the top rope, and he just gets caught with a running STO from Hell's Bouncer, puts Rudy back down on the ground, and the crowd, almost the energy just sucked out of them. They really thought Rudy was going to get that big clothesline over the top rope. So Hell's Bouncer picking Rudy up for the damnation drop, and he gets him. He picks him up, and it's reversed into a street cutter. And he pins Hell's Bouncer 1, 2, but Hell's Bouncer not done yet. He kicks out, and Rudy beside himself. He doesn't know what to do. The crowd is also shocked. Not many kick out of the street cutter, even though we've seen 2 people do it just this year. But Hell's Bouncer still a little weary, but he's making his way back to his feet. Rudy trying to chop him back down, and Hell's Bouncer shoves Rudy back against the ropes and hits the, oh my gosh, the Boss Man Slam. I forget what you call it, but the Boss Man Slam is what I'm calling it. He hits that, only gets a 2 count, and he is signaling for the end of the match. He picks Rudy back up for a damnation drop, and again, Rudy reverses it into a street curtain, but no, Hell's Bouncer pushes him away, and Rudy off the ropes back right into a damnation drop. 1, 2, 3. And Hell's Bouncer retains his championship. Probably should have said I see the street cutter as basically like an RKO move. So I see him reversing. If it's a dominator that Hell's Bouncer is doing, when he tries to pick him up, he just slides off and hits the street cutter the first time. And then the second time he slides off and grabs for the street cutter, but Hell's Bouncer pushes him against the ropes, and he bounces back right into a knee into a dominator or into a damnation drop. So damn good match there. 54 rating for our championship match as we end the show and only get a 49 rating. These production things are killing us, man. I mean, that's the best show by far I think we put on, and it is not reflected in the ratings. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed booking it and recording it, so I kind of got really into that main event. But anyway, that is the Freedom Movement, our July event. Next month, we will have the finals of the Freedom Classic, plus the fallout from this championship match, the fallout from the tag team title match, and what next will happen with Davis Wayne Newton and Princeton Price. We'll have to stay tuned to find out. I really appreciate all the support you guys have shown. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or comment. I really appreciate anything you guys do for me here. And I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.